Okay, boys, good morning. It is just hit 6 a.m. here in Australia, so it's Monday. Sorry if my voice, I've got the morning voice. I woke up 30 minutes ago, and I'm going to make a analysis video on Euro USD for this upcoming week so that you guys can sort of navigate through price action in a more easy way with my understanding of what's going on. So, without further ado, let's dive straight into it. So, let's start off on the weekly time frame. Weekly time frame, we're in a bullish market. So since the start of the year, basically, we have just exploded upwards, and I'm not going to be the genius trying to call the top. People that try to call the top here failed. Price went lower and then eventually pushed higher. People that are trying to call the top here, in my opinion, are going to fail. Price has pushed lower. It has made a correction into the 50% level of this swing, of this internal range. We've swept liquidity, and now we can expect price to push higher up from here, right? This is the main target for price right now. I should say for us, because we're not sure if that's the main target for price, but that's what I'm expecting right now. So this to be the main target. And yeah, we're going to have the weekly open here, and let's just drop down to the daily straight away. Okay, so daily time frame. This is our weekly open. The weekly open is most likely going to be where the previous Friday candle closed, unless there's going to be a gap. So sometimes the weekly open will open a bit below, a bit above, etc. But on Forex Factory, so forex.com, sorry, it automatically removes that gap. So we won't have a gap. So this is where the weekly open is going to be. Let me just zoom in here for you guys. Okay. This is the weekly open. Because my higher time frame analysis is bullish, what I'm expecting for price to do is to open here, push lower, and then push higher, and then close. Maybe we push up into the previous weekly high up here. Not the previous weekly high, but it is a previous weekly high, not the other one. But so, and then we've got this high up here. So potentially what price could do is go all the way up to here. But for now, our main target is going to be the previous daily high, previous weekly high. Okay. So I'm just going to make this thick like this. I'm looking for an open, low, high close. I've already explained this in my previous video just before. So open, open, open. So every bearish and bullish candle is formed in either two ways. So it opens, it forms a low, it creates a high, and then it closes. So like here, open, low, high, and then closes, right? So candle opens, creates a low, creates a high, and then it closes. Or for the bearish examples, bear with me here, open, high, low, close. Okay. Open, high, low, close. I'm probably going to be repeating this multiple times on this channel because of how important it is and how essential it is in the way that I view the markets. But yeah, so basically make sure that you really understand that, okay? So now we mark out our daily PD arrays. We've got this daily inverse fair value gap right here. So this could be a magnet for price. Sorry about that. Potentially where the low of week could form around here. Price could open, come down here, sweep some sort of liquidity on the lower time frames, tap into this daily inverted fair value gap and this daily overall range, which caused price to push above this high. So if we look at price, right, we had this, and I'm going to go into advanced market structure later, but oops. We had this, Price broke this high, came down, now it's broken this high. So we are seeing bullish price action, even though it didn't manage to fail. Even though it didn't manage to body close above it, this is still bullish price action. It's created a change of character. So yeah, now what I want to see is price tap down into here and then push up higher. So let's now go to the 4-hour time frame where we can look at this in more detail. So 4-hour time frame, we did get a body candle closure, which is very positive. Now we are in sort of the pullback phase of the 4-hour time frame. So if we mark out our if we mark out our Fibonacci, this is the 50% level. This is OTE. And what I just want to show you is this is a daily gap. So when this candle is going to form, there's going to be an inefficiency in here already. And this is usually a target for price as well, the daily gap. If it closes, we could expect this to be low of week as well. But so right here, essentially, it's very, very simple. We're looking for shorts until the 50% level, and then we're going to be looking for longs. So really keeping it simple. Here we see that price reacted to this 4-hour demand zone, and this 4-hour demand zone reacted to this 4-hour BPR. So we are in bullish order flow right now. And my goal this week is going to be looking to profit off of that once we create the low of the week. So as I've explained to you, I've got a personal account with $1,000 deposited, and then a 100K prop firm account, which is still in the challenge phase. And on the personal account, I'm just going to be trading the clearest high probability setups in my playbook. This means that I'm probably going to be taking 2 setups a month. And the goal is to make 2% on that account per month. Because if I can make 25% a year, I'm beating many, many hedge funds, right? If I can do that consistently, it's amazing returns. Don't get the social media trading space to tell you anything differently, okay? Yeah, so as I've said, right, we're at the higher high, we're expecting a higher low, and then we want to see new higher prices. I'm now going to drop down to the 1-hour time frame. And if this is going to start like scaring you off a bit because there's so many things, don't worry. It'll take time for me to explain everything. I won't be able to go through all of that today, but I will be able to explain a couple things with you, okay? First thing is, you could be asking yourself, why does he have 3 colors on his candles? White, black, and blue. So the blue one is simply an indicator that allows me to see inside bars. So when you have candles that don't trade below or above the high of the previous candle. So you can look at this example. We have this large candle. This following 1-hour candle fails to close above the high, fails to trade above the high or the low. And I'm sorry guys, I'm sick. And these actually end up being high probability zones to trade from. So I just mark them out, okay? Second thing is I've got this indicator on the right, which is just a representation of higher time frames. So as you can see, I'm on the 1-hour chart, but we can see 4-hour candles in here. Again, look at the order flow, look at the fair value gaps. We're definitely inclined to be bullish. It's called ICT, high time frame candles, my faddy. And then finally, this blue sort of areas here are just the Asian range, okay? I like seeing the Asian range on the 1-hour time frame because we get to see sweeps and all of that pretty clear. So the next thing that I'm sharing with you guys is supply and demand. I haven't gone in depth with that either, but I will. And this is what I'm looking at. So this could potentially be the zone that pushes price up higher. Let's see if it pairs with, no, so it's just above. Okay. This is a textbook order block, right? Like it reacted to a fair value gap. It's a down close candle. it looks really, really clean. But sometimes what you guys have to think about is if it looks too clean, it might not work, right? Like this is literally right now a push up with this textbook thing, textbook order block, textbook demand zone. And unless we get a liquidity sweep within the pullback, so we induce longs, we get traders to put stops above that zone, then we mitigate, then we can push higher. It might fail, right? If we just go straight into this zone, then I'm expecting this zone to fail. I don't expect it to hold. But I'll explain that again in another concept, in another video. What you guys have to keep remembering is most of my liquidity, supply and demand concepts come from Photon SMC, so Photon Trading. Go look them up on YouTube. They really explain market structure better than I will be able to explain it to you. I fully understand it now. Like I understand the whole course. It took time. Like it's a long sort of course, but if you guys can look at some of their videos, you will definitely be able to understand how I trade way better, okay? Okay, and finally, here we are on the 15-minute time frame. So the 15-minute time frame is my most important time frame. This is where all of my executions take place. This is what I'm looking at 90% of the time, okay? I always go from daily to 4 hour to 1 hour. 4 hour and 1 hour, I would say I'm actually looking at 20% of the time. And then 15-minute is like 70. And then my entry model time frame, so 5-minute, is 10% of the time, right? So what happened on Friday? Important to know. We had NFP, price pushed up higher with strength. We broke structure. So we're in a bullish market again. The 15-minute confirms it as well. We have equal highs up here. I don't think they are equal highs. I think this barely swept that, but to me that's still equal highs. There's still orders there. I'm seeing it as a resistance level. It's the previous daily high up here. So this I think is New York. Yeah, New York session liquidity. We've got this 1 hour zone. We've got this 15-minute BPR, 15-minute supply zone, and then 1 hour zone. So depending on which zone price comes to first, I will be looking to trade away from that zone. This zone, if price sort of chops here, comes up into this zone, I'm expecting this zone to hold price and push it lower because I believe that wherever price forms the low in here, it'll be inducement for longs. So with this, what inducement for longs means is that the chart creates there's just whoever's running the markets, or whoever you believe is running the market, or however the liquidity forms, is creating a fake area where you believe your stop loss is safe, right? So everyone could be right, like us. Bullish markets, bullish price action, and then the second they see a basic head and shoulder up in here, boom, they take longs, and this is where the stop loss of everyone is going, right? So that's what I like to target. I want to go against what looks super, super obvious. And if this is what we have coming into Monday, then this is what I'll be executing, right? If we have head and shoulder in here without even sweeping NFP lows, the moment we tap into NFP lows, I'm no longer probably going to be looking for shorts up into here unless it's really, really clean. So I would short this scenario, right? We still have NFP lows available. We create a head and shoulders here just above NFP lows. This zone is solid, BPR, like we've got stacked confluences here. It's probably, when price is trading up into here, it's probably going to be above the midnight open. We take shorts, we target this low as our main target, potentially partial out here, and then partial the rest of it out in here. And then I'm looking for the low of week to form. And this could be liquidity above for the low of week, right? This could be a stop out scenario. I'm expecting there to be many, many orders right below here because of the push up that it created. So Again, this is the advantage of using advanced market structure versus simple basic market structure. This is currently a simple version of this chart, right? So like that. And so there's heaps of stop losses here because traders place stop losses above higher lows and higher highs and all of that. So that's basically it coming into the week. I've kept it fairly simple. I have a shift in 45 minutes, which is going to be great. I finish just at London Open today, but I'll be active in the Discord group. And oh yeah, this is the last thing. I've got a couple of ideas for my next videos. I'm going to be making, I think, like, just tell me what you think about these ideas, right? Like a full personal finance breakdown, meaning how I allocate my finances into ETFs and prop firm accounts and personal accounts and trading software that I need to improve my data collecting and all of that. So that's one of them. And then I want to make a series on like journey to 10K a month with trading. Tell me what you think about that. Like what do you guys really want from my videos? Do you want analysis videos? Do you want journey videos as well? What do you want? Do you want day in a life videos? Like, just tell me and I will provide, guys. Once again, I'm doing all of this for free. If you would like to drop a subscribe, that'd be amazing. Even a comment down below, it helps me a lot. And then the Data Den. That's the server that I've created. It's a Discord server. And we're basically going to be in there. We are focused, on executing data-based trading setups. So anyways, I'm going to dive into all of that in another video. The link's in the bio if you want to join. We're a serious Discord server. And yeah, guys, I'll see you in the next one.